All right, so welcome everyone to our Biz Opportunity Call. I've just hit the record button, so we'll start fresh. I'm Susan Bursick. I am one of your Blue Diamond leaders. I live in Dorchester, Ontario, so I'm just outside of the London area, and I'm part of the Whole Fit team. And I see lots of familiar faces and a few that I don't know. So if you've joined us from another team, we're super happy to have you here tonight. This isn't going to be anything specific to my team, but just the way that I have typically been sharing the biz opportunity with people over the last several months. So for whatever reason you're here, we're happy to have you. I've got a pesky little mosquito here. I think I got him. Oh, nope. I'm going to share slides with you guys tonight. So if you're just hopping on, you'll want to make sure that your background is muted if you've got anything going on in your end of the world. And you can utilize the chat box. So if this is your first time to Zoom, you can either have your video on or off, and you can use the chat box if you have questions or you want to ask anything. I'm not going to be hopping in and out of the chat box. So if you've just hopped on, you missed me saying that earlier, you guys can answer some questions for one another, and then I'll come back to that later tonight. Okay, I'm going to open up my screen for you guys. And we will jump into talking about why I love doTERRA as a business. So, real quickly, guys, most of us start this biz with some kind of a pull, or what we call in network marketing or in doTERRA land, having a why. And this, I just got some fresh pictures back of the four of us. The last ones that I've been sharing have been quite outdated, but this right here is my number one why. A lot of the ins and outs of my why will change periodically, from year to year, and sometimes even week to week. There are different things, for those of you guys that have been building your business for a while, there are different things at different times that hold a lot of weight to you as to what drives you in your business and sharing the way that you do. But my biggest thing when I started this business 4.5 years ago was for sure wanting to have the oils in my home and to have a great experience with them. As I was learning about using them, I was sharing everything that I was learning. But I had some previous experience with a network marketing business model and loved everything about what it could offer people who wanted to take a skill set that was already innate in them, something that matched with their ability to be able to serve people along with products that would always be in their household, and loved what that offered. So when doTERRA fell into my lap, I really very quickly wanted to know about the business and started treating this like a business, because my number one priority once I became a mom was very clear to me that I wanted to have as much ownership over my time as I possibly could have. And although I loved what I did before I had my family, which was retail management, I loved managing a business and having, staff and being in the retail fashion world. But my schedule was completely out of my control. I worked a lot of nights and weekends and holidays, and that was not what I wanted going forward. And I really saw an opportunity to be able to shift the skill set that I had prior to having my kids and pour that into a business with doTERRA. So I keep, family is forefront for me, and this business has, as many of you guys know, it allows you to really work it around your family, which is such a gift. I'm going to play this real quick video for you guys. It is about 5 minutes long, but I think it's an important, it's got an important message, and you'll see a lot of really familiar, successful people in doTERRA here sharing little bits with you, okay?
In our search for ways or ideas or some sort of respite from our financial situation, we eventually turn to, yeah, I'm going to say it, network marketing.
As a mental health professional and a best-selling author, network marketing was not anywhere in my psyche. I never thought I would ever be involved in a company like doTERRA until I found doTERRA. I had no idea how awesome network marketing could be.
Network marketing is probably my favorite business model because it makes success accessible to so many.
And I feel that network marketing allows us the time freedom. It allows us the financial freedom that we all deserve as human beings. And now, instead of arguing over whether we can stay an extra day on vacation, I feel like I'm on vacation my entire life.
My wife and I are the parents of 7 children. And to us, discovering essential oils, and more discovering doTERRA essential oils, changed everything that we do, changed our lives in all aspects, because we're able to focus with our children on having freedom to choose and manage our own lifestyle, whether it's our physical health, our mental health, our financial health, which is a big one, our emotional health, and even our spiritual health. All 5 of these are connected, and if any one of them is out of balance, it affects the whole. And we have found support in all of these areas.
One of the reasons I love doTERRA's compensation plan is because it's so applicable to everyone. It's a platform where average people can make way above average income, and that is so empowering financially.
doTERRA is an amazing company, and I feel so grateful to be partnered with them because I know that they are a company full of integrity.
What I like about doTERRA, and the thing that I find interesting, is that I'm in charge of my own schedule, and I have the ability to choose where and when and what I do on a daily basis.
doTERRA is a powerful vehicle. Whatever you want to create, you can do that by connecting with doTERRA.
But when I started to really look at network marketing and understand that I was really in a job, the job that I was in was really a pyramid scheme where there was only one person at the top who could benefit in the way that would bring financial freedom, and everyone else in that pyramid supported that position. I was actually looking for a pyramid that was like this, where anybody who decided to rise to the top could take advantage of and find financial freedom. doTERRA as a vehicle, the perfect vehicle in my mind, was the first company to come along and actually take the model of network marketing and plug the right ingredients into it, like no other company's ever done.
When direct sales or network marketing is done properly, it's a relationships business, and I'm a relationships expert, and it was the perfect business model for me. When we honor relationships and we work together to share and better each other's lives, individual by individual, belly to belly, person to person, we really have a powerful effect, and we enhance our own personal development in the process as we learn to understand ourselves better, and we come to understand and love others around us better.
We are so excited to see what the next phase entails for doTERRA. I think the possibilities are endless. In the network marketing profession, oftentimes companies will talk about fancy cars and having a lot of money. And doTERRA is completely different from that. For us, the purpose goes much deeper. We want to teach individuals how to get themselves out of debt, how to be able to remove those burdens that weigh them down. And as they do that, that gives them an opportunity to truly be free.
All right. I love that every single one of us on this call is connected to the people that were on that video. All right. So usually the biggest question people are going to have when they're looking at beginning a business with doTERRA is why doTERRA? And I love, love, love that we never have to stray from the foundation that it's because of our oils. And generally people have a really impactful experience with the oils, or it's just this steady overall up leveling of their life or their kids' lives, or somebody that they have been able to help and serve with the oils, that they realize is the basis of this business, is that you have a story to share. And I love that the majority of people fall into this business sort of by accident, or by having somebody point out to them that, you know how like you bring your oils to work all the time and you're giving away your past tense and you're always, you know, talking about deep blue and you're so eager to share and help people. And then you have to kind of say like, that's really just what our business is. And so it generally becomes a really easy transition. So if you've been that person who's just been naturally sharing and handing out your oils and putting them on people just because you love them and you love to help, that's what our business is. So really what I want you guys to think about right now is just who could be helped by your story and your willingness to share if you were just to put a little bit more focus and intention around that. That's really what our business is and why so many people find this to be a good fit. I also really love to emphasize how lucky we are to have the leadership team that we do. We have 7 owners that lead us in a debt-free billion-dollar global company that will always remain privately owned. They're incredibly fiscally responsible. If you guys have attended a leadership retreat before, you'll often hear our CEO, David Sterling, talk about how important it is to doTERRA that they get people out of debt, because when we are not burdened with some of the heaviness that debt brings, we're free to give. We're free to give with our time, with our finances, and their number one focus will always remain on giving us the world's best oils. We all just got back from an incredible global convention about a week ago in Salt Lake City, and it's just that opportunity to come together and hear from the 7 owners and just really always feel confirmed that you're with a company who will always, always, always take the health of people very seriously and make sure that we have essential oils that are tested, you know, better than anything else you could possibly find in the world, because that is the basis and the foundation of our business, is having the world's best oils. Another piece of the puzzle here that you maybe don't know a lot about yet, but this is sometimes the piece that really brings things together for people, especially if you're somebody who really wants to feel like you're partnering with a company or an organization that is doing a lot of good in the world. You'll want to just jot these 2 words down and look into them a little bit more after this call or later this week. But co-impact sourcing, just to sum it up really quickly, is the sourcing model that doTERRA has in place to ensure that for those of us that get these incredible oils in our homes, that the people that are actually farming them, growing them, harvesting them are being taken care of with just as much care and significance. So if you've ever seen the map of where doTERRA sources, we get our oils all over the world. And a lot of times that means they're coming from underdeveloped countries, third world countries, places where people are really hurting for education, clean water, access to healthcare. So there's this whole beautiful business model that's in place to really help these communities and families rise and have a really sustainable future as they have the magic for us, right? We're just here benefiting from these magical oils that are created all over the world, but it's just this real cool full circle impact that's happening through co-impact sourcing. And then the other portion is doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation. So much incredible support being put out through different projects in these countries, through corporate partners, through foundations like Days for Girls, which helps educate women and girls about their menstrual cycles, Operation Underground Railroad, which is working towards ending human trafficking. So there's a lot of really amazing things that are happening sort of behind the scenes that go kind of above and beyond just when you first open up your oils and fall in love with them and know that you need them in your home. So those are two things that you'll want to dig into a little bit further. So let's talk about why doTERRA actually chose network marketing. You've maybe heard before from some of the owners that this was actually not their first choice of ways to sell the oils. Easily they could have partnered up with big box stores or different retailers and just gotten them on the shelves. But I would guess that every single one of you guys ended up deciding to bring oils into your home because of a trusted conversation, an experience, or a story that you heard from a person, whether that was somebody that you were following online or somebody that sat down with you and showed you how to use the oils. Word of mouth advertising is the most powerful form of advertising on the planet because we all buy things from the people that we know, like, and trust. I always like to use the analogy of a restaurant or a great movie. If you've eaten somewhere amazing or you just went and saw a really awesome movie, you tell people about it, right? It kind of comes up in conversation throughout, your next several days, and you're eager to say, hey, we had an awesome meal here. I would totally go to this restaurant. Or, hey, have you seen this movie? You should watch it. Those restaurants and those movie companies don't pay you any commission for directing all these people towards them, but that's what network marketing does. They're able to save all of the money that would be spent on getting prime retail space or the thousands and millions and billions of dollars that get spent by some companies for advertisements. That goes right into the people who are sharing the stories about their oils, which is you and I. The other cool thing about network marketing is you're paid exactly what you're worth. So you'll hear a phrase called hauling buckets, which is just trading hours for dollars, which is if you've ever worked in a salaried job or an hourly wage, that is trading hours for dollars. You maybe work 20 hours a week and you're paid for 20 hours a week. Or if you're on salary, sometimes you're working way above and beyond your 40 hours a week, but you're salaried. So you're always, you're getting paid that weekly or monthly amount, and that's not going to change. But what's happening with the network marketing business model is that you are now building what we call a pipeline, which equals an incredible opportunity to build residual income. So this might be a word that you want to jot down to go back and discuss a little bit more with the person who invited you to this call. But really, a pipeline is where small bits of consistent effort, aka you being out there sharing your oils consistently with other people and educating them, over time adds up to be massive growth. So this works really well for those of you guys that are trying to think about shifting away maybe from a full-time career that's not really in alignment with your future goals. Or if you're somebody with just super limited time right now, you can start this business and have incredible things open up for you down the road if you stay really committed to the small bits of consistent effort. I talk a lot with my team about how impactful a couple of 10 or 20-minute pockets of your day done consistently can add up over time. So I love that we have a really, really simple business model. We are product focused, which is the easiest thing because you never have to really stray away from talking about just the benefits of the oils. Now, I also understand that sometimes people do want to know about our business. So that's kind of why I host calls like this. But 80% of the customers in our organizations are not actually interested in building a business, which is such a great way for people who really want to just stay focused on the heartfelt aspect of helping people. You do not have to splash around a fancy business model or entice people in with a business opportunity, because naturally what happens is the people that are just kind of meant to actually rise and do a little bit more leading and mentoring of others, that just sort of happens in a really organic way. And I love that we end up building a business that's built on a solid foundation of just customers. So that's what makes it really simple. Let's go back a little bit to the residual income here. So residual income in network marketing is income that you actually continue to earn based on efforts that you put forth initially. So this income is based on the sale of your oils, and these products must continue to generate repeat sales. So this is one reason why consumable products are the most effective in network marketing. So I want you to think about maybe having gone to a party where you bought a piece of jewelry or maybe a bag or an indestructible plastic container, that is probably not something that you were replacing and buying every single month. What is incredible about doTERRA is that we have this awesome loyalty rewards program. So people get the oils into their home, and maybe as soon as that very next month, or maybe it's a few months down the road, they start to build this comfort level with using them. And now they're in a routine of using lavender every night with, you know, the whole family. They totally know the value of having On Guard during, you know, seasonal switches. And all of a sudden, this is a product that's getting used every single day in their home. And as you build a comfort level with your oils, as I'm sure most of you guys have had a point in your life where you're like, okay, I'm totally in the groove here, and now I want to know about this oil, and now I want to know about this, and now I'm ready to tackle cleaning. Whatever order that happens in, you want to keep building this collection. So the loyalty rewards program is incredible because doTERRA is very generously rewarding people for doing this by giving them credits back and helping them to be able to cash in those credits for more free oils. But what this does for you guys is, as you go out and let's say you teach a class this week and you enroll 3 customers, those customers end up deciding that oils have made a big impact in their life, and they order a few every month. You are then paid for as long as time goes on the initial education that you spent helping these people learn about oils. So as that builds over time, this is where residual income becomes very, very important, because you'll have an organization of customers and people that are continuing to share, and you spend time, like I said, educating them in the beginning, but then they have the potential to be a customer for life with you. And network marketing allows you to be paid continually as they continue to purchase products. Retention is also so important. So doTERRA actually experiences industry-leading retention with our customers, and that has a lot to do with what I just kind of finished explaining about the fact that once people have oils in their house and they feel supported and they're a part of, you know, your ongoing education, and they're continuing to come up with ways to use them, which is kind of our job as educators, they stay customers. So that means that 65% will continue to purchase after they open up a wholesale account with you. And the industry standard in network marketing is actually around 12 to 15%. So this is a very, very key thing to consider when you are aligning with a company to do business with, because you want to be able to go out there and build upon your existing customers, which when we get into kind of talking about how our ranks work, is such a gift. You don't want to have to be finding brand new people to replace that customer that you enrolled 2 months ago who's now long gone and is never going to purchase from you again. So our retention is amazing. So let's talk quickly about what it actually costs to start your business. Now, I know you guys are tuning in from all over the place, and I have used this analogy based on our Canadian business. But if you wanted to start your business right now, after you enroll, you would want to set up a loyalty rewards program order. So that's the monthly order that I just talked about. And in order to qualify to earn commissions, you will purchase 100 PV, so product value, of oils or products every single month. And this is just sort of the baseline that doTERRA has used to determine somebody who's eligible to earn commissions. And really, if you're using oils and sharing them and really actually like utilizing things like our supplements and our, you know, skincare and personal care, as well as your oils, it would be almost impossible to not be spending at least 100 PV to be able to, you know, continue to be a product of the product. So just for example here, a bottle of lavender in Canada costs us $26.75 with our wholesale account. It's worth 22.5 PV. So this equates, if you were going to fill a 100 PV order, it equates to about $130 a month basically to run your business. Or if you were to take that into a 12-month year, it's $1,500. And it's a tax write-off. So this would be like the bare minimum. So if you're somebody who's like, I have very little that I can pour into starting this business, this would be the bare minimum. So I want you guys to think about, especially at the end of this call, what is possible with a yearly $1,500 investment into something, right? You're using these oils for your classes, for sampling. So, it's a business write-off, and you can talk more to the person who enrolled you about that. But that's a really, really low risk, minimal investment to have a business that could build you unlimited resources. Now, I will point out that as people grow, you will have months where you're investing more in that. You may be stocking up on more oils to sample people. You may want to have supplies like little oil guides, or you may want to purchase a class in the box, which is kind of a ready-made box that arrives with everything that you would need to share at a class. You may attend trainings and things like that. So that investment can certainly fluctuate, but this would be the bare minimum that it would cost you to start your doTERRA business. When somebody decides where they want to fit in the whole experience, we kind of break that out into the term user, share, and builder. So a user just simply stands for anybody who is a customer. This is somebody using doTERRA. All of us, even if we're doing the business, we're still a user, right? And keep in mind, this is 80% of your organization. So we love our product users. You don't need to feel any stress about, needing to switch people over into looking at the business. That should never be a pressure that you feel. Love on your users, because they are what makes up the bulk of your business. Now, a sharer is somebody who wants to just kind of share their oils casually with friends and family. They're maybe now interested in kind of learning how to get their oils paid for. So they maybe want to host a class every once in a while, or they're comfortable enough, showing somebody how to enroll, but they're not really interested in leading a team. So I love sharers because, again, they add value to your organization as a business. They are eager to connect you to other people, and they're just, I like to think of them as just sort of a link to more contacts. Now, a builder is somebody who's really passionate about continuing to educate people about their oils, but they also have an interest in leading and developing a team. And because of this, doTERRA generously compensates people who want to build a business. You can get these 3 guides on doTERRA.com. Pretty much anything you could ever want to know about doTERRA is on doTERRA.com. So I love, again, that that's really simple for people to plug into and utilize. So let's now talk about the 5 ways to earn money. So the first way would be just a retail commission. So this would be through your online store. So when you decide that you want to share your oils, you would either upgrade for free from a customer to a wellness advocate. And with that, you'll get a link that is, mydoterra.com/your first and last name, or you can customize that. And people could go right to your link and just purchase the odd bottle of oil, and you would make a 25% commission on anything that somebody purchases at full retail. So that's paid out monthly. And it's actually really rare that somebody's going to purchase retail, because what you guys all do so well is teach people the value of having a wholesale account. So this is when you're first getting started, and you have an opportunity to now earn 20% of the PV, so the product value of anyone that you enroll on anything that they purchase in their first 60 days. So this is paid out weekly, and I like to think of this or explain this to people as their right now money. So this is the check that comes that keeps a new builder or a new sharer really excited in staying active with having classes, or meeting people one-on-one for a coffee or a tea and talking about their oils. So just as a quick example, if Lisa is the builder and she enrolls Megan as a customer, and within the first 60 days of Megan being a customer, let's say she enrolls with a 132 PV order, Lisa would earn a $26 commission off of that. Let's say Megan gets home and she realizes, there really was a couple of oils that Lisa mentioned at that class that I feel like I should probably have right away. So now she's got a wholesale account. She goes online and she buys another 78 PV of oils. So Lisa would earn $15 off of that order. Let's say the next month rolls around and Megan, totally sees the value of the loyalty rewards program. So she's ready to place her next order. She purchases 147 PV. Lisa is going to earn $29 on that order. So again, this is just whatever somebody is purchasing within their first 60 days you're going to earn 20% of that. So this keeps, this is really fun. I remember when I first had my first class and, I went to the mailbox and there was, a check for about $50 that came, and it just feels so fun, right? Because it doesn't feel like you're working when you're out there sharing about the oils. Now, the cool thing about the fast starts is that you can actually earn this 3 levels down. So this might seem a little bit confusing. I'll do my best to explain this to you guys, but let's just say I enroll Jen. I'm going to earn 20% of everything that Jen purchases in her first 60 days, just like that last example that I showed you guys. But let's say I've enrolled Jen and she's kind of excited about the business and she wants to have a class. So she enrolls Angela. I'm actually going to earn 10% of Angela's purchases in her first 60 days. And if Angela decides she wants to go out and do the business and she enrolls Megan, I would actually earn 5% of Megan's purchases in her first 60 days. So this just goes on and on and on for as often as you're enrolling people, and for all the people that you hold enrollment of. When they go out and enroll people, you have an opportunity to earn that 20, 10, 5% in the first 60 days of everybody that's new that's joining your organization. So the simple way to think about this is that obviously doTERRA is very generous with this 20% commission, right? Every time you go out and enroll somebody. But they also realize that in order for Jen to have the confidence to teach somebody else how to enroll, I will have had to spend some time with Jen teaching her how to do it, right? So doTERRA recognizes that, and it's basically like saying, thank you for teaching Jen how to enroll somebody. We're going to give you 10%. And maybe I still need to do a little bit of mentoring when Angela decides that she wants to share. So doTERRA again recognizes the time that you're going to spend with people to get them comfortable hosting classes, teaching and enrolling, and they're going to pay me 5%. So even though that, like, I maybe never had a personal connection to Angela or Megan, that chain just kind of rolls on because they know that education has to be paid forward. So I hope that makes sense. This is a really cool piece of our compensation plan, and it's just that sort of nice pay it forward thank you that doTERRA gives us for continuing to teach and empower people how to share their oils. The Power of 3 bonus. Now, this is something that gets paid out monthly. So we talked a little bit about the loyalty rewards program. So as you start enrolling people in your back office, you'll kind of grow this. We often refer to it as a tree, but it's sort of your organization of customers and people that you're bringing into your organization. Now, when you get into the phase where you're enrolling people, your mentor will help you place them. So there is a Power of 3 bonus that you can earn every month. That's either $50, it can grow to $250, and it can even grow to $350. And the key here is having people on our loyalty rewards program. So although you may think like all the work in doTERRA is getting people enrolled, the best part of the work is afterwards, where you're continuing to educate people and help them just stay engaged with their oil use and see the value of a program like the loyalty rewards program. So if you have 3 people who land on your front line and they all purchase a minimum of 100 PV, and your order and all of their orders and anybody else that might be on your front line equals a total of 600 in volume every month, doTERRA is going to send you a $50 Power of 3 bonus. And this can happen every single month. And if you duplicate that, so let's say you help those 3 blue people on your front line each earn their own $50 Power of 3, your Power of 3 bonus now turns into $250, and then that can be duplicated 1 level down. So it's just another layer of the compensation plan that keeps people active with sharing and educating. And it just kind of helps you in the beginning stages have a little bit of extra income as you're sharing your oils. So let's talk next about the unilevel, which is another piece that's paid out monthly. I had a really hard time wrapping my head around what unilevel meant in the beginning, simply because I didn't have a comparative word for unilevel. but I'll try my best to sum it up here. And this chart is one that you may want to go back and reference if you want to have a call with your upline or your mentor to just kind of dig into this a little bit further. But back on this screen here where I showed you kind of an organizational tree that starts to happen as you're enrolling customers, this now kind of translates into an opportunity to earn small percentages on everybody in your organization who's purchasing either every month or periodically. And over time, as you grow in ranks, you're able to earn on deeper levels, which is just naturally going to happen as people on your team turn into sharers or turn into business builders, and they're now adding customers to their, to their organization, which is part of your organization. But this is really cool because this here, although in the beginning it's a really small portion of your income, over time you will hit a point where it tips and it becomes the largest, most significant, most solid, most reliable piece of your income. So I guess the easiest way that I could sum this up is to be forever dedicated to your continuing education of your customers, and to be willing to go out and teach a class, help, guide, mentor anybody anywhere in your organization, even if you don't directly hold their enrollment or they maybe don't fall in a leg that you're using for a qualifying rank. Because this unilevel bonus is so generous, it has always worked out in my favor to help anybody no matter where they are. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But again, you can go back and you can kind of, once we go through the ranks, you can kind of see here, for example, when you're a silver, you'll be able to earn percentages on your customers up to 7 levels down. And the neat part here, I'll give you kind of an example, is that doTERRA pays the largest percentage of compensation deep down in your organization, which is actually reversed to the way a lot of network marketing companies do it. So let's just say, kind of as your organization builds, you've got 3 people, maybe your 3 key business partners or sharers or business partners, people that you're working with. And as you're building out some teams and customers and helping people with their structure over time, down on your 7th level here, you may at some point have something like 2,000 customers. So with doTERRA's compensation plan, you'll see here that what they do is every month they, would add up all the customers on level 3, pay you 5% of that, all the customers on level 4, pay you 5%, all the way down to the 7th level, where you have the bulk of your customers in your organization, and doTERRA is actually going to pay you the highest percentage, which translates into a really nice monthly unit level check. Now, the way a lot of network marketing companies do it is they pay you the biggest percentage on those first few people that you bring in, and it gets smaller as your organization grows. So you've got all these people now, on a lower level in your organization, but that company is now paying really minimal commissions, and you can see the variance of how that sort of works out. So just know that doTERRA is taking really good care of us by having a compensation plan that works this way. And although in the beginning, the bulk of your team starts to kind of be on like those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th levels, but over time, as other people are starting to share, that snowball just kind of grows and grows and grows. And the majority of your people and customers that you're earning a little bit of commission on end up being at the highest paid out rate. So we have different ranks in doTERRA, which I'm going to explain a little bit more in the next couple of slides, but this just kind of gives you a sort of a quick example of what those different ranks look like from a numbers standpoint. So that we've got our manager, director, executive, and elite, which are all just about just you, your customers, your shares, your builders, no real structure yet. But then we have ranks such as premier, silver, and beyond, where it actually, you want to start to kind of identify a couple of partners or a couple of leaders or business partners that you're working with in your business, and you're helping them to now build teams. So you can get these planners again on doTERRA.com as well. This might be one of those slides that you want to make a note of to go back and have a conversation with your upline. Monthly bonus pools is another opportunity within our compensation plan. So this is actually set up to reward leaders on the overall collective success of wellness advocates all over the world. So each of these little bonus pools actually contains a percentage of the global commissionable volume for the payout that month. So the better the company is doing as a whole, the more money there is in each of these pools. So what this really means is that everyone in the company can actually benefit from everyone else's growth and success, no matter whose team you're on. So having a bonus percentage that's based on global commissionable, really struggling with that word tonight, commissionable volume, actually provides an incentive for leaders to work together across teams and to support levels deeper into their organization. So if you have, spent any time at all in another network marketing company, a lot of times you'll find that people are very protective of the content that they create or the training that they do, and they don't necessarily want to share that out. Stuff is shared so freely and so generously in doTERRA that you can literally, if you have been enrolled by somebody across the world and you don't have a connection with them, or you are out on your own somewhere and you're not close to a local team, you have the ability to tap into all of this generous content that's available through doTERRA, through YouTube, through Instagram, through open team calls, things like Facebook is great for that. So there's really not an excuse to not be able to blossom or grow exactly where you are right now, because there's so much content that's available and shared, and people that are willing to just guide and see you do well. So that's where those monthly bonus pools really come into play, because it's seeing everybody grow together and be able to share in that. All right, so I kind of feel like no, I didn't skip. Okay, so just a quick little touch on the average earnings in doTERRA. So these are based off of people at this rank that are for several months have been steadily hitting that rank. So the first time, for instance, that you hit silver, you would not be making these average earnings. But if you stabled out at a silver rank or a diamond rank or a blue diamond rank, and that was your consistent place, the consistent accomplishments of your team, these are the average earnings. So you can see here what those kind of translate to from a yearly perspective. So you may see one of these and be like, okay, I know that gold or platinum would be the rank that would allow me to fully walk away from a full-time job or a full-time career. Or maybe you work full-time and you're like, no, I could definitely build a silver organization, and that extra income would pay for, a couple of really great family trips, or that would take care of replacing a car that we know is going to need replacing in the next couple of years. So dream right here as big as you want to dream, because all of it is incredibly attainable. I shared the stats here just from a team meeting that we had a few months ago, but we started our team in 2014. We've had 42 people hit the rank of silver. So if somebody wanted to just, stay out and really solidify a silver rank, that's 42 people that would be earning an extra $26,000 a month, doing doTERRA part-time, not really, going too much above and beyond in terms of leadership and development, but just having some good structure and some good support for the people that are sharing. And you can just keep growing that depending on the commitment and the amount of time and development that you want to pour into people. So we have amazing resources and guides that are available for all of those ranks that we just talked about. And you can find those on doTERRA.com. And if you go under a little link that's called Our Advocates, you can find all kinds of great content through Empowered Success. So these guides here have all been put together by top leaders in the company who took bits and pieces of their own trainings and experiences and things that have worked and put them into a really handy guide. So the first one, of course, that you'd want to get familiar with is the launch guide. And then as you're growing, you know, from elite to premier and silver to gold to platinum and diamond to blue diamond and presidential. There is a guide here to keep you on track and keep you focused on the actions and the mindset work and the personal development that would be most relevant at those ranks. So really handy for you guys to be able to reference depending on what stage of the business you're at or wanting to grow to. So, oh, I totally did miss some slides here. Where are those slides? We'll go back and find them. Nope, they're coming up. Never mind. So next steps right now are to choose your level of interest and really just kind of plan a time to connect with the person that invited you to this call or who enrolled you. The other thing you're going to want to do based on the slides that are coming up is to really sort of decide the number of hours that you feel like you can consistently, and that is totally the key word here, consistently find each week to be able to put towards your business and set as a goal. You're going to want to have a good idea of where and when you're going to share your oils and teach others, whether that's going to be online. Maybe you're really good connecting with people over coffee. Maybe you want to utilize your house and just invite, you know, your immediate people that you know would come over and hang out on your couch or at your dining room table and learn about the oils. Or maybe you want to pair up and host community classes with somebody in a health space or somebody that you know that has a really inviting space that you could have for free or to rent out at a low cost to be able to advertise in your community to come out and learn about oils. But the key is you need to get out there and love on people with your oils. So you're going to want to partner with your mentors so that they can guide you as your customer base grows. The best thing is that you don't have to have all of this figured out. There's a reason that we have incredible support above us so that they can help guide as needed and make sure that you're not feeling overwhelmed. So let's talk about the elite rank, just so that you guys can sort of walk away tonight with either a feeling of where you next want to go or what it is that you think is probably achievable for you over the next, you know, few months or the next year. But an elite leader is somebody who is achieving 3,000 overall volume. So if you guys remember that volume, every oil has a volume amount attached to it. So this can be someone who just casually shares their oils, but they're doing it with consistency each month. So at this rank, what you guys are working on is just building your belief in the product. And you're starting to share your stories with others. And at an elite rank, you're probably now looking at getting some or all of your oils every month paid for. So a premier is somebody who's now achieving 5,000 overall volume every month within their organization, but they're now starting to work with 2 partners in their business, and each of those partners each contribute 2,000 volume to that organization. So at the premier rank, you're really starting to kind of build your belief in the company. You probably have a deeper interest in learning more about what doTERRA is all about and you know, the co-impact sourcing and the healing hands and just having a better understanding of network marketing for sure. But you're starting to act with a little bit more integrity as you share your message, and you're starting to be a little bit more on purpose about building trust within your community. And a premier could be earning anywhere between $500 and $800 a month. So now you're more than getting your oils paid for, and you're starting to have that little bit of cushion or a little bit of needed income to be able to invest back into your business, whatever that income does for you. At silver, so this is the first rank that doTERRA calls a leadership rank. A silver leader is now achieving 9,000 overall volume in a month, but they're working with 3 partners now in their business. And each of those partners are each hitting elite, and that helps contribute, of course, to the overall volume needed for somebody to be a silver. A silver now is starting to kind of build belief in themselves. So looking at themselves as a leader, which might be, you know, totally unfamiliar territory, but they're definitely committed to modeling what success looks like to a growing team. A silver could be earning anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000 a month. So now this is starting to make a big impact in a household, especially for something that can be generated in a part-time way. But you're starting to step more visibly into a leadership role and This is where people start to feel a little bit of a tug on their time, especially if they are still working full time or they have a lot of commitments, from a family or community standpoint. So this is where you're going to want to have a closer relationship with your mentor or your upline so that they can really help, talk to you about trading off areas of your life and trading time so that you can create more time to be with the people that are needing some of your support now. A gold leader is achieving 15,000 overall volume. They're working with still 3 partners in their business, but each of those partners are now hitting premier. So each of those people now have 2 of their own people. A gold is now starting to build belief in their team. They're sharing their vision. They're pretty much all in at this point. They're nurturing other people to kind of rise up as leaders and really starting to kind of create that culture of duplication. And a gold is now earning $3,000 to $5,000 a month, which again is going to make a significant impact on any household. At platinum, 27,000 is the minimum overall volume. They're still working with those same 3 leaders, but they have now helped develop those 3 leaders into each hitting silver. And a platinum leader is definitely somebody who's expanding their leadership throughout their doTERRA community. You've got that momentum that's starting to happen because now you've got, if you've got silver leaders, that means that they've each got 3 people hitting elite. So you're starting to really feel that momentum and that duplication kicking in. And a platinum's going to be earning, once they're solid at that rank, $6,000 to $10,000 a month. So that is where people often really look at shifting away from a previous career because they have likely replaced their full-time working income with their doTERRA income, which is a really exciting thing to see happen because when you're working full-time, your time is generally not your own. You were probably expected to show up for set hours with set limited time off. But if you're building a doTERRA income, you are building that when it works for you, for your family. You're able to be with your family when you need to be, take the time off with them, and you're still having this incredible income come in to support your household. And at diamond, it would take a minimum of 36,000 overall volume. You've now added a 4th partner to your business, and you're helping that 4th leader also get to silver. A diamond leader is really strengthening their why for their business. There's literally unstoppable momentum that starts happening at that rank. So you're really working at inspiring and leading a larger community filled with other people who are also really strong leaders. So you can really start to kind of leverage each other's strengths and see where you've got people really duplicating what you've spent a lot of time working towards. Diamonds are earning a minimum of 10 to 20,000 per month at this rank, which really, this is where you want to stop and think about what that would mean. What would that mean from a time freedom and choices for your family? It's an incredible place for people to really start to feel that shift and really start to feel compelled to continue sharing the opportunity. So this last Jim Rohn quote, one of the last slides I love: success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become, which I think is such a perfect quote for this business because anybody, I think, who has at least hit, I would say, a silver or gold or beyond rank, you recognize that you've had to do a lot of developing and a lot of growing in order to be able to continue to attract people to your tribe, your team, customers that you're continuing to attract. Success in this, guys, is really nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. There's a saying that you'll hear in network marketing and doTERRA is that you can build this business part-time, but you cannot build this business some of the time. When you see people in and out and all in, and then they disappear for a couple of months, you'll find you're having a really hard time getting any traction or having any sustainability come to your business. You can absolutely do this part-time, but it has to be consistently. Time is more valuable than money. You can't get more money. Sorry, you can get more money, but we can't get more time. We cannot possibly come up with more than 24 hours in a day. So the way to leverage that is to be able to have a business that works for you, that generates money and opens up more pockets of time in the 24 hours that we all have. So I will end this with, if you want to talk more, you're going to want to get in touch with the person who shared this call with you. So if that was me, you can screenshot this and shoot me an email, a text. You can come and find me over on Instagram. But likely you will have somebody who, let me just finish sharing this. You will have somebody who is eager to help you explore this business. There we go. Stop the share. And you're going to want to set up a time to chat. So whether that's, connecting online if they're not local to you, or you want to get off this call and say, hey, we totally need to have coffee this week. When can we do it? Take what jumped out at you and what you feel you have time for, and let them know your goals. Because if you are sitting here saying, I absolutely cannot see myself spending another 2 or 3 years in the job that I'm doing, I need to have an exit strategy, you're going to want to share what is it going to take for you financially to be able to scale back or step away completely or support the goals that you have. And you're going to have to be very realistic about how much time you have to do it right now, because your mentor will be able to say to you, okay, this is achievable, or you know what, if you want to do this fast, it's going to require 10, 15 hours a week, which a lot of time we're going to hear something like that and say, well, I don't possibly have an extra 10 or 15 hours that I could devote to somebody. That would be like asking me to go out and work another part-time job for 10 or 15 hours. But the cool part is that you can build this very strategically with small pockets. So it doesn't have to be 10 or 15 hours all at once, but 20 minutes here, a half an hour at night, maybe 2 hours after your kids go to bed, whatever that's going to look like for you that you're willing to kind of trade off from a time standpoint, is where this adds up over time and makes it all come together. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for hopping on. If you are on my team or you've been on my calls, you know that I am a big advocate of painting the picture of the journey that you're on with people. So if you guys want to grab your phones and snap a picture, social media is a powerful way to share messages. And I often will tell people that for anybody to have any kind of interest in doing what you're doing, they have to be able to see what it is that you get to do. So if, starting a business or exploring a business meant that you were on a Zoom call, you'll want to share that with people tonight and let them know how easy it is to be able to tap into education and knowledge and community, because this kind of stuff is what a lot of us are lacking in other jobs or other experiences in our life, is that ability just to connect with other like-minded people. So much gratitude to all of you guys for spending time with us on a Sunday night. I'm open for questions. I can stay on as long as needed. I'm going to go back into the chat and just kind of review anything that was in there. But if you want to talk tonight, you can unmute yourself and I'll stay on and just make sure that everybody's questions got answered. And if you joined us from another team, thank you for joining us. Head back to the person that shared the call with you and let them know what you want to chat about next, okay? Awesome. Take care. For all of you guys that are hopping off, thank you for joining and have an awesome week.